You don't become feared by the entire boxing world for no reason. In this sport, respect isn't given, it's earned. It's paid for in blood, sweat, and years of sacrifice. And Naoya Inoue has been building that kind of respect since the day he first laced up his gloves. From his early days in Japan, Inoue wasn't just another fighter with dreams. He was a prodigy. He had something rare, a mix of speed, power, and precision that made people stop and stare. Over the years, he's created a record that few could even dream of, and a highlight reel that looks more like a collection of horror stories for his opponents. He's not only one of the best pound-for-pound boxers alive, he's one of the most violent artists of his generation. Every time he steps into the ring, he blends beauty with destruction. His technique is crisp, his focus unbreakable, and his finishing power absolutely terrifying. Watching him fight feels like watching a surgeon perform an operation, if the operation ended with a knockout. No matter how tough his opponent is, Inoue always finds a way to break them down. It doesn't matter if you hurt him, he'll hurt you worse. It doesn't matter if you outbox him for a round, he'll study you, adapt, and destroy you by the end. And even if you give him the fight of your life once, don't count on surviving the rematch. Naoya Inoue is the kind of fighter who learns, evolves, and comes back twice as deadly. That's how he earned his nickname, the Monster. Every fight he takes now isn't just another step in his career, it's another chapter in the legend he's writing with his fists. When Paul Butler stepped into the ring to face Naoya Inoue, many people called him brave. Others called him foolish. He was tough, skilled, and proud, a British fighter with real grit, but he was facing something entirely different. This wasn't just a fight for another belt, it was history in the making, the chance to become the first undisputed bantamweight champion in the four-belt era. From the opening bell, Inoue came forward with calm confidence. His movements were sharp and calculated. Every jab he threw seemed to land right on target. He averaged nearly 9 jabs per round, double the division's average. Each jab wasn't just a punch, it was a setup, a signal that something much worse was coming. Butler tried to stay defensive, keeping his guard high, circling the ring, but he wasn't throwing enough. You could see the hesitation, the fear of being countered by the monster's right hand. Inoue, meanwhile, stayed patient. He worked the body, then the head, constantly changing angles, forcing Butler backward. Every combination ended with a thudding left hook to the ribs. The sound echoed through the arena. As the rounds passed, it became clear this wasn't a contest. It was a lesson. Inoue was teaching a masterclass in control, balance, and precision. Butler's corner shouted encouragement, but their fighter was fading. His punches were cautious, his movements slower. Inoue, on the other hand, looked like he was just getting started. By round 6, the Japanese superstar was in complete command. He moved with the rhythm of someone who already knew the ending. The crowd could sense it too. Butler's trainer told him to stay composed, to wait for an opening, but there was none. Every small mistake was punished. Every second of hesitation was exploited. And then in round 11, Inoue decided he'd had enough. He changed his rhythm. Faster punches, lighter touches, then suddenly a heavy right hand exploded through Butler's guard. The impact was immediate. Butler crumpled to the canvas, eyes wide, body frozen. The referee didn't even need to count. Naoya Inoue was the undisputed bantamweight champion of the world. The monster had done it again. Inoue didn't celebrate wildly. He simply raised his gloves, calm and respectful, as if he expected nothing less. It was another flawless performance, another name on his growing list of victims. But the story was far from over. After conquering the bantamweight division, Inoue moved up in weight. His next target was the super bantamweight crown, and standing in his way was Luis Neri, a dangerous Mexican southpaw known for his aggression and knockout power. The stage was set in Tokyo. The arena was packed, the crowd buzzing. Everyone knew they were about to witness something special, a fight between two explosive punchers who didn't know how to back down. Before the bell, Neri said he wanted to end the fight early. Many laughed until the first round started. From the opening seconds, Neri was bold, stepping in, throwing heavy shots, showing no fear. Then in a shocking moment, he caught Inoue clean and dropped him. The crowd gasped. The monster was on the floor. For a few seconds, it felt like the unthinkable was happening. But Inoue quickly stood up, looked at the referee, and nodded. He was fine, and more importantly, now he was angry. Champions aren't defined by how they fall, they're defined by how they rise. Inoue began to adjust immediately. He studied Neri's movements, noticed his habits. Neri liked to overcommit when he threw his left hand, and that left him open for counters. In round 2, Inoue baited him in, slipped a punch, and fired a lightning-fast left hook that landed flush. Neri's body twisted, and he crashed to the mat. The arena erupted. The monster had answered. From that point on, Inoue completely took control. His timing was perfect, his accuracy unreal. He was landing combinations with frightening ease, sharp jabs, body shots, uppercuts, each punch perfectly placed. Neri tried to fight back, but every time he did, Inoue punished him. You could see the difference. One fighter was reacting, the other was calculating. Inoue wasn't rushing. He was dissecting. Round by round, he broke Neri down physically and mentally. The Mexican warrior kept coming forward, but his punches had lost their sting. Inoue was too sharp, too fast, too precise. And then came the end. In round 6, Inoue stepped in with a short, brutal right hand. It landed perfectly on the chin. Neri's knees buckled, and then he was down. The referee waved it off. It was over. The monster had done it again. Another spectacular knockout. Another belt added to his collection. But more than that, Inoue had proved something important. Even when he's knocked down, he gets up stronger. It wasn't just power, it was heart, intelligence, and adaptability. That's what makes him great. He was now the undisputed super bantamweight champion of the world, and his legend was growing faster than ever. There was one man who had pushed Inoue to his limits, one man who had tested his heart and chin like no one else. Donaire. Their first fight was a classic, a brutal 12-round war that ended with Inoue winning by decision, but not without taking serious punishment. It was the kind of fight that changes both men forever. 2.5 years later, they met again, but this time, the story would be very different. Donaire was older now, but still dangerous. A legend with speed, power, and pride. He believed he could do what no one else had done. Stop the monster. The crowd in Japan was electric as the bell rang. Donaire came out aggressive, firing his famous left hook, but Inoue was ready. He stayed calm, using his jab to control the distance, watching every movement. Then, late in the first round, he landed a sharp right hand to the temple. Donaire's legs gave out. He went down. The crowd roared. The monster had struck early. Donaire got up, but he looked dazed. He smiled, nodded, and motioned for Inoue to come forward. The heart of a true warrior. But that was a mistake. Inoue smelled blood. In round 2, he unleashed a barrage of combinations. Jabs, hooks, uppercuts, each punch more precise than the last. Then came the shot that ended it. A crushing left hook that landed perfectly on the jaw. Donaire fell hard. The referee stepped in immediately. Knockout. Inoue raised his hands as the crowd erupted. It was not just a win, it was a passing of the torch. The young star had completely taken over from the veteran legend. Naoya Inoue was now the unified WBA, WBC, and IBF bantamweight champion. And more importantly, he had proven that he could evolve, adapt, and dominate anyone, even those who once gave him trouble. At this point, Inoue wasn't just a champion, he was a phenomenon. Every time he fought, he showed something new. Better timing, sharper movement, smarter strategies. He wasn't just beating opponents, he was outclassing them. He could generate knockout power from short range, using tiny movements of his hips and shoulders. His footwork was surgical, his timing razor sharp. When he punched, it sounded different, like a crack of thunder in the silence of an arena. Fans, fighters, and legends all agreed. Naoya Inoue was special. He had the accuracy of a sniper, the calmness of a veteran, and the instincts of a natural-born killer. Like Terence Crawford, he operated on a different level, but in his own unique way. While others brawled or boxed, Inoue blended both. He could switch from technical to terrifying in a heartbeat. That's why they call him the monster. And yet, behind the power and fame, there's humility. After every fight, Inoue bows. He never taunts, never disrespects. He lets his hands do the talking. That quiet confidence only makes him scarier, because he doesn't need to say he's the best. He proves it every time he steps into the ring. So what makes Naoya Inoue so special? It's not just the knockouts, though they are spectacular. It's the way he wins, the precision, the discipline, the beauty in his violence. He's the rare fighter who can entertain and educate at the same time. You can watch him and learn something about boxing, about timing, about control. He fights like someone who's solving a puzzle, except the puzzle hits back. From Paul Butler's slow collapse, to Luis Neri's violent fall, to Nonito Donaire's dramatic defeat, every one of Inoue's fights tells the same story. Skill conquers chaos. He's shown that you don't have to be loud to be lethal. You don't have to talk big to make a statement. You just have to let your fists speak. And Inoue's fists speak the language of champions. When people talk about greats like Pacquiao, Mayweather, and Crawford, Inoue's name now stands among them, not just as Japan's best, but as one of the best of this entire generation. He's already made history, but he's not done yet. The monster still hungers. And that's what makes him truly dangerous. Because for Naoya Inoue, every knockout isn't the end of the story. It's just the beginning of the next one.